What's up, guys? Axel Toss here at the MLG Studios in New York City, back with another interview. This time, we got Kane on the line, of course, a Zerg player that started off his reputation being a little BM, but then he kind of apologized to everyone, and then he joined Root, and now everyone loves him. Kane, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm kind of tired. I just woke up, though.
Uh-oh. Why are you just... Wait, what time is it? What's up with... I just talked to... Who did I talk to? It was Puck, and he was going to sleep, and it was literally 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah, our sleep schedules are kind of messed up because we had Acer Team Story at 6 in the morning last night. So we had to adjust to that, and it's all kind of messed up now.
Okay. Well, that's definitely an interesting fun. Okay, well, congrats to you for sacrificing your sleep schedule for your team. Shout out for sure. But you're... Okay, this was a big move for you. Before we get into the move, I would like to allow you to kind of introduce yourself to the audience. People don't necessarily know you. Maybe talk a little bit about your history in StarCraft 2 and how you kind of got where you are today.
Sure. Yeah, so my name is Sam Morset. I am a Canadian Zerg player. Obviously, I'm on Team Root. I started StarCraft at release. I started playing Protoss. But I really found out that that race wasn't for me, so I switched about 2 years ago to Zerg. And haven't really looked back since then.
Cool. Now, obviously, okay, so the process of joining Root Gaming, can you talk about that a little bit? Because I know obviously I'm in Root Gaming, so I kind of knew the story, but can you elaborate with the audience kind of how that went down, what the process was like?
Sure, yeah. Well, I've been friends with Cats for a couple of years. Well, not a couple of years, but like a year now or so. And we've always, like, chatted once in a while, but it never really came down to anything serious. And a few months ago, I think it was in April or maybe before that, but we just kind of started talking more, and we started talking about the possibility of joining Root. And he said that it was a real possibility, but of course he didn't want like a BM player on the team or anything. So I kind of cleaned up my act, I guess you could say.
So to cut you off a little bit, what did that kind of involve? Like, what do you mean this? Did you kind of have a certain demeanor about you, and then you kind of changed it? Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, well, in the past I've kind of been BM, but you know, just ladder, nothing serious. So it wasn't that hard to change or anything, because I don't think many people take ladder BM very seriously. It's just you know, frustrating after a loss or stuff like that. So it wasn't hard to change, and a couple months later, after I kind of got a reputation as more mannered player, I guess you could say, Cats asked me to join Root, so that was really nice.
Cool. And how do you like it so far?
I really like it. Obviously, we're at the team house right now, and it's a lot of fun with all these guys around. So it's definitely a new experience for me, but it's a really good one so far.
So how was the move for you? The move from Canada to California?
Well, I've actually been in California for about 2 or 3 weeks before I came to the Root House, and it's been really hot, especially the first couple weeks that I was here. But it's really nice here. It's completely different from Canada, where you're used to like extremely hot weather or extremely cold weather.
Right.
California is a bit on the hotter side, obviously, but I would say most of the difference here right now is just the weather. It's really, really nice out.
Do people notice like the little the subtleties in the way you pronounce words like about and out? Do you get a lot of flack for it, or?
Yeah, people do. Yeah, people do. Never notice it myself, but I know there's been a couple incidents at the house where I say one word and everybody starts bursting out laughing because I say in such a different manner, I guess you could say.
That's awesome. What are Juvie and what are they talking about back there? Juvie, Cats, and Minigun. They're all huddled around Juvie's.
Secret team business. I can't let that. I can't let that go.
I'm on Root. We can keep it between us. It'll just be between.
They're probably just talking about like a ladder game or something like that. I know we have an idea for a couple shows coming up, so they might be discussing that or something. I'm not too sure.
Cool. So can you talk a little bit about that your interaction with the other players at the house? How is it different from being solo in Canada?
Yeah, well, obviously being in a team house is a completely different experience because you know you have 8 or 9 guys around you all the time, and people are always available for practice, always available to discuss strategies. There's lots of distractions going on all the time, so you really have to get used to that. But in all honesty, it's not like after a couple weeks here, it's not something that is really hard to adjust to or anything like that. It just takes a little while, but I really do enjoy it, especially being around people who are also interested in the game. It's it's something I've never really experienced before because back in Manitoba, where I'm from, there's like 10 other StarCraft players in the province,
Sure.
and I never see them. So
Now, province, for those of you who don't know, is a bigger edition of a state, I think.
mhm.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. There's
Cool.
like I should know this, but there's not as many provinces as states, obviously, and they're a lot bigger. So
Like, there's like 9 of them, I think.
sure.
We could just say that. Come on, man. You're from Canada. You're supposed to
I
know
could
these things.
I could name them all, or I could name and count them all, but I don't know off the top of my head how many there are. That's really bad.
Wait, if you can name and count them all, then you can know how many there are.
Okay.
Let's do this
BC,
together.
BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario,
7,
Quebec,
8, 1,
Newfoundland,
2,
PEI,
Vancouver, Toronto.
what? No,
I'm
those
messing with
are
you.
cities.
I'm trying to throw you off.
Newfoundland,
Is it working?
PEI, uh, fuck. There's another maritime province. And then there's the territories: Nunavut, Northwest Territories, and
I'm
some
impressed.
Yukon.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
And there's one other, so like 13 or something, maybe less,
Well
11,
done.
12.
Well done. I'm
Thank you.
impressed. You came close enough being from Canada. I could probably name one. Cool. That's awesome. All right, let's get back to StarCraft.
Sure.
Okay, so you're a Zerg player.
Mhm.
How are you feeling right now? What's your play like? Are you beating people left and right?
Yeah, well, my ZVZ and ZVT right now are really good. Like, I'm playing on career right now, and I'm playing a lot of GMs, like every 2 or 3 games or so. And all the Zergs and Terrans that I meet go down pretty easy. I haven't met like top ranked ones yet, obviously,
Sure.
but like between the 150 200 range, I play a lot of those. And Zergs and Terrans I have no troubles with, but when it comes to Protoss, I'm really bad at the matchup right now, so it's something I'm definitely looking at and trying to improve, but it's coming slowly, especially because ZVP is such a weird matchup right now.
Yeah. No, everyone's gonna have their weakest weakest matchup. Now, along those same lines, is there among the North American scene, is there anyone that you think is a big rival of yours, or that you match up against them on ladder, you kind of trade games a lot, or maybe
Mhm.
any of your teammates that you practice a lot and you're always trading games? Do you consider yourself having a big rival of any sort?
Um, to be honest with you, I'm not really. Besides Scarlet, I'm not really afraid of anybody in the North American scene right now. I think that because a lot of them are Zergs and Terrans with like a couple Protoss like Hux sprinkled in, I'm not too afraid of them.
Sure.
And even the Protoss, like I guess Huck I trade games with on a pretty regular basis, but I'm not particularly afraid, I guess you could say. Like if we met in a best of 3 or best of 5, I would be pretty confident for sure.
Sure. So, what do you think is separating you from, maybe not only being the best or North American, from being the best in the world type of thing? What's the next step you need to take, or what are the biggest obstacles that you think you have in your personal play that's keeping you from getting to that next level?
I don't think I have any obstacles in my play right now. I think I just need to keep playing, keep practicing a lot, and I think that needs to be on the Korean server. So obviously, right now we're in California, so the West Coast I can play pretty easily to Korea. The lag is pretty good, the latency, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the North American server doesn't really do it for me right now, just because there's so many. I don't want to say bad players, but like
Sure.
players who don't really know a lot. So like they might do really weird builds that aren't very good and stuff like that. So playing on the Korean server is definitely a lot better for me. And if I can keep doing that, I think my play will be improved. I've been playing a lot recently, so
How's it
hopefully.
been? I'm assuming you're just playing barcode, so it's not like you can identify who you're actually playing. And I'm
Mhm,
assuming you're probably using a barcode too.
correct.
What's your progression like in the ladder? And do you stream it or?
No, I've been trying not to stream it.
Okay.
Streaming isn't my favorite right now, just because I find that my practice is not as good when I stream. So I think I'm at like 1,600 points right now, which is top
Oh,
30 masters, top 40 masters. So I should be getting into GM next season, I think, when it opens. But right now it's full, obviously.
sure.
Yeah, so far the highest player I played is like rank 51 or something, and he was a Terran and I beat him happily. So
Wow.
uh, Yeah, I think I'll be doing fine. I just need to, like I said, keep going.
Oh, cool. That's definitely super cool. Is that a goal you have for yourself as far as, like top 50 Grandmaster career? Like, what kind of what kind of goals are you setting for yourself moving forward from this point?
Well, getting grandmasters to start with is a pretty big goal for myself. And after that, yeah, I would like to get like top 50, at least top 100 grandmaster in Korea. That would be really cool. Um, but one of the biggest goals I have is just to keep playing there. Even if I don't make grandmasters, just keep
Right.
playing.
Now, outside of Korea, what about any tournament goals or any goals among as far as your stature among the non-Korean scene?
Yeah, so I would really love to keep playing in tournaments. Right now we're in kind of the central, like we're in America, obviously, so it's kind of central to all the tournaments, which is nice. I think the next tournament we'll be playing at is a smaller land, but I would like to keep going to bigger tournaments like MLG, and even travel to some Dream Hacks and stuff like that in the future. Right now, I'm not too concerned with tournaments. I don't want to say I want to avoid playing them, but they're definitely not my main focus right now. Right now, I just want to get better. And tournaments are they're time consuming, and with travel and everything, it takes away a lot of time from practice. So I'd rather get the practice out of the way, and then once I'm confident and feeling good, even versus Koreans, then I can start playing in more tournaments.
Cool. I think that's a great mentality. Last question for you. What's your favorite thing to do in California or at the team house outside of playing StarCraft, maybe in your free time?
Swim. We have a really, really nice pool just out back. Apparently, our landlord says it's like one of the largest pools in Antioch for houses, so I don't know if he's lying, but it's it's a really, really nice pool. We have a diving board and a nice patio set outside, so and a hot tub too, actually. So whenever we're not playing, we all of us love to go outside and take a dip.
That's awesome. These root
Yeah,
interviews, man, like every single one of you is saying how awesome the house is. It's making me want to visit. I'm definitely going to try to make that happen soon.
you should. It's really
I
nice.
absolutely will. But Kate, thank you so much for talking to me. I want to give you the floor though. Any shout outs or any plugs, anything you want to say to your fans?
Yeah, shout out to DOS Keyboards. They're our main sponsor right now, and they're really great. Shout out to my fans for supporting me. I hope you'll see more of me in the future, even if I don't focus on tournaments. You can follow me on Twitter at @RootKane, root_Kane, I think it is. And thanks for interviewing me. It was lots of fun.
Thanks for hanging out, man. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure, and best of luck moving forward. I hope you get that number 1 spot on the GM ladder. Who's Jim anyway? Kane's gonna be there next. But
Yeah,
I'll talk to you
definitely.
later, man.
Okay, talk to you later.
See ya. All right, guys, that was Sam Kane Morissette, awesome Zerg player, of course, currently living at the Root House in California, coming from Canada. Look out for him to make a splash in the scene very soon. Look out for him on the Korean ladder as well. But guys, that concludes yet another interview. This has been Alex Axel Toss Rodriguez. If you want more gaming content, head on over to MajorLeagueGaming.com. That does it for me. I'll see you next time.